Yes, relationships is what it's all about, but not just any kind of relationship. Let's focus on the power of a few in this lesson. Why focus on a few? Well, because that was the example Jesus gave us. You know what? He never neglected the crowds. There were times when he spoke to thousands of people, right? But if you look through the Gospels, what you'll see is he spent the majority of his time focusing on a few. And those were the 12 disciples that were later called apostles. And he poured most of his time into those guys. Now, why focus on a few? Well, of course, because Jesus did it. But why did Jesus do it? Because it makes for healthier relationships. Because we can't be best friends with everyone. It's good to have a few close friends, a few other friends, and maybe a larger circle of friends, but the more you spread that circle out, the thinner it gets. So let's make sure we've got 2 or 3 or 4 people that we are really close to, that we're pouring into, and it's making a difference in the kingdom of God. All right, so we're able to be more relational when we focus on a few. You cannot go deep with everybody. It's just not possible. There's not enough hours in the day. I'm an extrovert. I could be around people all my waking hours, but that does not necessarily make me effective as a disciple maker. I need to be pouring my life into a few people, and the people that will be most obedient to God, the people that will actually take action on what Jesus says, what we're working on in our mentoring group, their next steps with God, that's what I'm looking for. Those are the people I want to pour my life into, because they will become disciple makers themselves. So we see longer term results when we focus on a few. We can each be accountable when we focus on a few. If you know people, a lot of people, but in a shallow way, there's probably not someone that you're really accountable to in your life. And it's easier to fall into sin. We can maintain a customized spiritual growth plan when we focus on a few. Have you thought about that? Why we limit our mentoring groups to 5 people, we say they should be between 2 and 5, is because once you get more than 5, it's not a mentoring group at that point. It's not a discipling group. It's a small group. Small groups are great. They have their purpose. They have great dynamics, but you cannot come up with a spiritual growth plan that is customized to each individual unless you just have a few in the group. So I say you may start your mentoring group at 2 people, you can add a third in, you can add a fourth in, but when you get a fourth, already start thinking about, when will we multiply? When can we become 2 groups? And when that 5th person comes in consistently, you need to very quickly multiply your group into a group of 2 and a group of 3. Let the Spirit guide on who goes where. And there are other ways for you all 5 to still get together in other formats, but we don't want to lose the power of mentoring. 2 Timothy 2:2 says this. This is Paul talking to Timothy. And the things you have heard me say in the presence of many witnesses, entrust, Timothy, to reliable people who will also be qualified to teach others. So there's Paul, Timothy, reliable people, and then others who will be qualified. 4 spiritual generations mentioned in this one verse. Why? Because we're focusing on a few. And the deeper we go with a few and encourage, equip, and train them, then they can go deeper with a few, then they can go deeper with a few. That is how we're going to multiply with quality. We're not just out to multiply numbers. We're here to multiply quality of discipleship too. So let's follow that example of Jesus. Let's follow that example of Paul. And let's make sure that we are focusing on a few and doing well with that. God bless you.